Michael North for Maryland. And he'll be going up against Sammy Sasso, the number 2 wrestler at this weight class. He's obviously a fan favorite here.
Well, and for good reason. Sasso, from the moment he stepped on campus, has been a factor for the Buckeyes. Redshirt junior. He's got great scrambling ability, very tough on top, cradles from everywhere. If there is any kind of knock on a guy that is as good as he is, you want to see maybe a higher rate of attack and a higher rate of finishing. And this is the kind of a match where maybe he works on that a little bit.
He had a 3-2 win over number 10 ranked Max Murrin, his 5th win against a ranked foe this year in that Iowa match. So it doesn't matter what the level of competition is, he is there. And Michael North is certainly going to have his work cut out for him. And so far, he's battling admirably. There's a long way to go, 35 seconds into the first period.
There's where Sammy is so tough. Counter wrestling, and oftentimes he is looking to create a cradle off of that, but that was just a great counter shot. Now turning that into back points as well. And now they go out of bounds. The college rules, of course, allow any part of your body still in bounds. Wrestling continues. Back points, falls can be earned out of bounds as long as 1 point is still in, and so a nice set of back points there for Sasso to go up 6-0.
Michael North from Wadsworth, Ohio, so he's a Buckeye, although he went out to the east to wrestle. As a freshman, he was 3rd on the team with 17 wins, so he's a capable wrestler.
Now Sasso trying to lock up that near side cradle, wasn't able to quite get to it. Now North did a nice job there, finding an ankle and turning it into a reversal.
There we said, he's capable. He lost 5-2 against Indiana's Graham Rooks in that matchup against the Hoosiers on Friday.
Of course, reversals were the order of the day in Sasso's win against Iowa. 2 reversals in the 3rd period. Sammy tough in every position.
You got the escape point there.
And North coming from that very, very good Wadsworth Grizzlies program. They just hosted the Grizzly Invitational yesterday, one of the tougher tournaments in the Buckeye State.
And he's up high there and almost landed on his shoulder blades, but the 2-point takedown came for Sasso to go up 9-2. You can see North as a competitor, but he's got his hands full right now. He got an escape there. Now trying to go right back to the attack.
Well, Sasso, he knows he can get a takedown at any moment, but he wants that cradle.
That's why
there's the takedown.
North was trying to go to the attack after getting the escape because he wanted to avoid being taken down again in short order. But now it's 11-3.
Well, you look at this 149-pound weight class and the rankings. Yanni Diakomahalis of Cornell ranked number 1. Sasso looking for more back points here, but he's ranked 2nd. He's an Ohio State wrestler, but not from Ohio. But then you do have Ohio wrestlers Tariq Wilson from NC State at 3. You got Bryce Andonian, Virginia Tech 6. Josh Heil from Campbell ranked 7th. So there's a lot of Ohio guys highly ranked at this 149-pound weight class. That's a great first period for Sasso.
Absolutely. North came out primed for battle, but Sasso was just too strong in that
scored
first
from
period.
Neutral, scored from bottom, scored from top. No place else to score from.
Yeah. If there was, he'd do it.
He'd probably be on it.
So in this second period, North will go from the up position. See if he has any more success. But you have to like the way he came out. Not yielding anything except grudgingly.
Yeah.
And, of course, you said from that pedigree he's got from Wadsworth wrestling here in Ohio, you knew he was going to be tough. And there's an escape.
Well, Shane Sparks will be very disappointed that North was not able to complete that mat return. That was a great job from Sasso to lock up the leg when North got the lift to prevent him from finishing it back down to the mat.
And there's 2 more as he establishes control there. To go up 14-3 as he's not far off from the tech fall. Still with a lot of time to go.
And for all the time he has spent on top, still doesn't have the riding time point built yet. But he's almost there, 5 seconds away from it.
I think he'll take care of that if things continue. There's an escape point. And sometimes that just sets you up for the next course. It goes in quickly again with the single leg shot. He's done that twice now. Quick attack after an escape. Because he knows, I think, what'll come unless he's able to change the tenor of it.
When you're wrestling a guy like Sasso who is so good at counter wrestling, it puts you in a dilemma. You obviously need to score. You want to score, but you know that if you do not have a perfectly clean shot, your chances of getting scored upon are pretty high.
But if you just wait around, you're going to be victimized too. Right. So you got to try to do something out there.
Pick your poison.
Might as well try to be aggressive if you're going to do that anyway. And here's near fall points being accumulated.
Well, we've had a couple of 1 counts. There's a 2 count. So Sasso's going to get 2 more points. That'll make it 18-4. But still shy of a tech fall.
Final seconds. He's just trying to escape this second period.
The referee
but
got to a 3 count.
He's not going to.
Yeah, so in that situation, if the referee had gotten to the 4 count, he got a 3 count and then counted 1 again, but it wasn't a full 4 count. If he got to the full 4, the match would have been over via tech fall, but he only got the 2 back points.
So if there was basically 1 more second in the period, it would be over. But as it is, 18-4, and we'll see how much longer North can extend this. And even if you lose, even by a major score, you just finishing without a tech fall or a fall that's something to hang on to and be positive about.
So much of wrestling is building upon your experiences, good and bad. So Sasso gives up the escape here. 1 takedown for Sasso ends the match, but North has continued to battle, as you're talking about here. Listen, he's going to fight throughout the course of the rest of this match. But when the smoke clears, he's going to look at what happened here and try and build upon his successes and mitigate the things that didn't go well. And here's one of those things that's not going to go well.
If he can say that I avoided a tech fall or a fall, that'd be big, but doesn't look like he's going to do it, though.
Sasso is able to lock up that cradle. Now he's got the leg hooked, and he is looking to finish off with the fall.
And he's very, very close. He's on the very precipice of doing just that. And the crowd wants it. North doing everything he can to keep that shoulder blade off the mat. But it's going to be tough to go another 55 seconds.
Well, Sasso's body is so far across him, he's not able to get good pressure on that inside shoulder to keep it down. That's what enabled North to fight it off there. But that leg is still turked. Now he lost the turk, but he's still close to near fall. There will be the back points after North is able to belly out, and that'll finish it off.
Well, so he wasn't able to avoid the tech fall, but he was able to avoid the pin. So that's something. And I think the way North battled, he deserves something to take out of that match.
There is a certain win. And listen, at this level, there are very few moral victories.
Yeah,
okay?
That's true.
But there is something to be said for fighting the good fight until the fight is over, and Michael North did that. He did not give up. He could have easily let that shoulder go that last inch and just finish off the match and get back to the locker room. He did not. He fought through it. But for Sammy Sasso, that is a dominant performance and exactly what you need in front of this home crowd.
Yeah. Now we move to 165. We've got Gaven Bell, a freshman from Maryland, and he'll be going up against Kharchla, who at number 7, he pulled a tremendous last-second victory, a takedown with 17 seconds left to upset number 1 ranked Alex Marinelli of Iowa, and this place just went crazy. And when you're down with a minute to go and ride time in the pocket of Marinelli, that's a tough situation. Not too many guys can face that and come out on top.
Yeah, absolutely correct. It was a 1-0 match, but riding time had been built, so that means you need exactly what he got. You need the escape, and then you also need a takedown. If you can't break the riding time without the takedown. And Carson Kharchla, as I'm sure when the new rankings come out, is going to rock it up there very near the top.
And he's got a lot of fans, too, being a local from Powell, Ohio, from Olentangy Liberty, 2 straight Ohio State championships, and there's 2 quick points.
He got the 2, and he got 2 on the near fall. Wasn't able to get the full 4, but boy, the Buckeyes are coming out firing.
Just like Malik Heinzelman, he looks like he's intent on not having there be as much drama in this match as there was in the Iowa competition.
Cross-face cradle. Not sure. Well, there you can see now finally the hands. The fingers were locked, but he wasn't able to get a full-on grip. And Bell was able to fight himself out of it.
Makes it 4-1, but it just sets him up for Kharchla to come right back at him. Sometimes that escape point is small consolation.
Well, and for Kharchla, early in the season he was wrestling with that big knee brace on. He decided that he had had enough of that. He wanted to get that brace off there and wrestle free and easy, and he has looked obviously pretty good. I don't think he got the swipes there that he wanted for the back points, but he'll go right back to work. Oh, an assassin here.
Trying to roll out of it, but nothing doing.
1 count.
And finally he just kicks him out. Said, all right, I'll go for another takedown, a single leg shot, and right back on the mat.
That's 3 takedowns here in the very early going, just a minute and a half into the first period, and for Kharchla, he is now trying to work that arm bar. Bound and determined to get some back points here. Some more, rather. He's going to get them.
Racking up the takedowns and points at will. Again, just managing to stop and limit it to 2 near fall points, making the score 10-2. This is Gaven Bell, G-A-V-E-N Bell, as opposed to Gavin Bell, G-A-V-I-N Bell for Ohio State. Another escape, 10-3.
Well, this Gaven Bell is getting a bit of an education here.
Indeed he is.
Carson Kharchla, who is going back to the assassin here, held it for a 1 count. Now he's going to get some. Well, he only got a 1 count again. So credit to Bell.
He's going back to it, and he is the assassin the way things are going. But Bell managing similar to the earlier matchup that we saw when Michael North was very grudging about giving up points and avoided the fall.
Now the referee did not have any counts there with the inside shoulder up on top of Kharchla. Now he's counting the points, and he's going to get to the full 4 this time. That'll make it 16-3 with just 5 seconds left in the period.
Right on the very precipice of the tech fall.
So what this tells you, here's some numbers. There are 3 minutes in the first period of an NCAA match. 3 minutes are gone. There were 3 or 4 takedowns. I'm having trouble keeping up on my scorecard here. But 2 minutes and 29 seconds of riding time. So they were only neutral for 31 seconds. And Kharchla racked up multiple takedowns, which means he is on the attack immediately, as he is here as well.
Yeah, he's just a takedown machine. And there's another one that gets him to the 15-point cushion. How tough is it, that extra minute that you have to wrestle in the first period if you're up against somebody who is that adept at takedowns?
Well, what you're referring to, obviously, is the extra minute from high school wrestling, where it's a 2-minute first period, 2-2-2 in high school, 3-2-2 in college. That's, when you make the transition, that has to be a huge adjustment. You've got 12th ranked Kyle Cochran out of Paramus, New Jersey. This is a guy that doesn't have to back down to anybody. He is on a tremendous run right now for the Terrapins, and he wants to stop the bleeding right now. The Buckeyes are on a roll. 133 turned into a win for Maryland, but since then Ohio State has rattled off 5 straight victories. So he wants to stop this for his team, and Romero here on the home mat wants to make sure that does not happen.
Cochran had a very impressive victory against Indiana, defeating number 8 ranked DJ Washington 3-2, and in doing so brought his team back within 20-12 in terms of the points, and they still had a shot with 2 bouts remaining. So he is definitely a tough customer, but so is Caleb Romero. who has, in addition to his wrestling attributes, as an all-state quarterback and a class salutatorian in high school. So very, very accomplished in many aspects as we're underway here in this first period and wrestlers sizing one another up.
And every year, Romero for the Buckeyes has just improved and gotten better and better, getting into bigger and bigger weight classes.
He's from Mechanicsburg, Ohio. And once again, looks like it's going to be a pretty evenly matched contest here.
Now, Romero, generally speaking, the matches stay pretty close. He doesn't mind going to overtime. He doesn't mind a 1-1 match heading into the third period.
Even going back to his high school career, he won a match, the state finals by fall, with 52 seconds left at the Schottenstein Center.
Yeah, he was a dominant wrestler in high school, obviously, for Mechanicsburg.
And even had the same style, patient style of wrestling even back then.
Now Romero here keeping his back to the center. Cochran on the edge. And you know, if you're Romero, it's that solid strategy if you can buy an early stall call. It's just another tool as the match goes along. Romero has good heavy hands. His best shots often come from a little bit of distance. Creating space, creating motion. He can cover a lot of ground.
Kyle Cochran, that victory over DJ Washington was just continuing on with a great season he's had. It was his 4th ranked win of the year. And he's won 15 of his last 16 bouts.
Now the crowd starting to get a little restless, looking for a stall call here. Romero, a couple of half shots. They're getting in on the leg. And again, these shots are not full-on committed, but it certainly is giving the appearance that he is the aggressor and the opponent may be playing the edge a little bit.
Cochran had been a primary starter at 165, so he's wrestling up here at 184. But certainly acquitting himself extremely well.
There's the stall call.
And we're down to the final seconds of this first period. And it stays deadlocked in a scoreless tie. And it's just a question of who's going to make the move here. We saw a lot of very dramatic matches in that Ohio State-Iowa matchup, and Indiana-Maryland. There's very low scores.
Romero can get a mat return here. Yes, indeed. Not a high elevation, but able to kick out the ankle and bring Cochran back down to the mat. Now they go out of bounds. You know, for Romero, the next 49, 50, 55 seconds are going to try and be about keeping this man on the mat, build that riding time enough.
Yeah, nothing. That could prove decisive.
Kaleb has shown the ability to be tough on top in terms of building some riding time at times, not necessarily prolific with turns. But Cochran doing a great job there, able to get out, continue that up action.
So he's up 1-0, but that riding time issue could still even it up as they go back to the center of the mat. Romero, a 47-20 record. There's a quick 2-point takedown to put Romero in front.
That's what I was talking about earlier. From a little bit of space, you know, Cochran had been used to Romero coming in heavy hands. So he was anticipating more of that, but Romero felt just a little bit of a lean, a little bit of a lack of deep level from Cochran, and turned that into a great level change, an explosion in, and turned it into a takedown.
And he prevented the escape attempt as they end up bounding out of bounds. And it'll be Cochran in the down position here. midway through the second period.
Great explosion for Cochran. And able to get the one before the riding time gets built up over a minute. It's now 58 seconds.
And that's what got that escape point, just that explosion. And allowed him just to get free to even the score here. This looks like it's going to maybe go right down to the wire. Nothing really to choose between these two fine wrestlers to this point.
Now as we get under a minute in the second period, Romero obviously wants to get another takedown and build that lead and the riding time, but he'll have the chance to take down in the third period and get an escape of his own.
Cochran, a New Jersey state champion in 2016.
30 seconds remain in period number 2. 30 seconds.
Romero, NCAA qualifier the last 2 years, and he goes for the shot. Not really able to complete it, and the 2-point takedown for Romero.
Well, and that can be certainly disheartening for Cochran. That's the first shot attempt he's had. He thought he had an opening. He thought he had the motion proper and went in on the leg. Romero was able to get that leg back, and Cochran got stretched out. Kaleb did a tremendous job with a quick go behind to secure the takedown, and now the riding time is up to 1 minute and 20. So if Romero chooses down, he's able to get out in under 20 seconds. That riding time will still be in place.
And he will be down to start the third period. With some momentum, though. Not just the 2-point takedown, but the way he got the 2-point takedown. As we start the third period, and a renewed effort on the part of Cochran to get Romero on his back.
Oh, there's the leg tried to come in, but Romero was right on the spot to catch it coming in, and he'll turn that into an escape with exactly 1 minute of riding time on the clock.
And then Cochran had to make a beeline to get out of bounds to avoid being in further trouble. And it's 5-2 for Romero now.
And he's not going to stop attacking. If you're Cochran, you can't stop attacking. You have, even though that shot didn't work out, the only one he is really committed to did not work out for him. He still has to have the offensive mindset because he's down functionally 4 points right now. If he gets a takedown, that riding time will be eliminated, so it would be a huge takedown, and it would be a 1-point match. So he needs either 2 takedowns or a takedown and a turn here.
And if you're a good counter puncher, you know that your opponent is going to be making some attacks, and you might be able to turn that back against him. Under a minute to go. Too much time to just try to run out the clock.
Well, Romero is always, I mean, he's a guy that's very rarely going to get hit for stalling. He is a forward-moving wrestler.
He's always looking for an opportunity. There he goes, but stayed out, but as long as he is able to go to the attack and not put himself in a perilous position, then he can hold the initiative.
Yeah, and that was a great example of that right there. Take the shot, and he felt immediately, I'm not going to finish here. So rather than get into a scramble situation, just sort of continue to back out, knew where he was on the mat, put himself out of bounds. So even if Cochran was able to go behind, he would not have been able to earn the takedown.
Down to 15 seconds left. A lot of strategical considerations that go into things, and that's what being a smart wrestler can do for you. 5 seconds to go, and it looks like Kaleb Romero is going to come out the victor here. A 5-2 triumph over Kyle Cochran, one of the toughest opponents the Terrapins have put up here this afternoon.
Well, that's a good win for Kaleb Romero because Cochran is, as you chronicled, he's been on a hot run recently. And he's been knocking off a lot of ranked wrestlers, and you're sure he came in here with designs on making it another one.
He definitely wanted another notch to his belt, and it looked like he had a fairly decent chance of doing it well into the second period when it was 2-all, but credit Kaleb Romero for finishing strong.